iiwan. Math-sayang Math-aral tayo ng Math-tuto upang di kayo masenso. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina Math-aral na tayo. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina Math-aral na tayo. Halina Math-aral na tayo. Halina Math-aral na tayo. Halina, 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 Math-aral na tayo.
Magandang araw! Maraming salamat mga Batang MANDunong and home learning partners sa patuloy na pagtutok dito sa Project SOAR, series of online academic reviews of mathematics CLAID learning modules. I'm Ma'am Karen Sota, a teacher from Andres Bonifacio Integrated School and your moderator for Week 8. Bago tayo magpatuloy, nais ko kayong imbitahan na bisitahin, i-like at i-follow ang aming official Facebook page, Math Team, Mathematics Teachers Association of Mandaluyong. I-like at i-share din ang video na to at mag-subscribe na rin sa aming official YouTube channel, MTM Channel. Kanina ay napanood natin ang detailed discussion ni Ma'am Nora ng advanced lesson for our grade 10 learners. Ngayon naman, kilalanin natin ang lecturer ng grade 11 advanced lesson in statistics. She is an alumna of Philippine Normal University and is currently taking up master's degree at University of Rizal Systems Antipolo campus. A well-loved mathematics teacher from ABIS since 2008. Grade 11 learners, get ready! Tayo ng matuto kay Mrs. Maricel F. Vito.
A pleasant day, parents, teachers, and learners. Welcome to our Project SOAR, a series of online academic reviews of mathematics CLAID learning modules. I am Maricel F. Vito, a teacher from Andres Bonifacio Integrated School, and I will be your reviewer for the Week 8 of Grade 11 Mathematics. Good day! Welcome to Project SOAR, Statistics and Probability, Week 8, Quarter 3. Our lesson is all about standard scores. Our competencies are: converts a normal random variable to a standard normal variable and vice versa. Our objectives: number 1, to understand z-scores, and number 2, converts a normal random variable to a standard normal variable and vice versa. But before we start with our lesson, let's recall a normal distribution represented by a normal curve in a form of bell-shaped. Its center is called the mean, and the distance between the mean and a certain point is called a standard deviation. Okay, so sana naalala na natin yung normal distribution. So now let's start with our lesson. First, let us know what z-score is. So z-score are the standard deviation values at the horizontal base of a normal curve. So ito daw ay values ng standard deviation sa horizontal base ng ating normal curve. Next, z-score are used to specify regions under the curve that are expressed as probability statement. And third, z-score also refers to the distance between the mean and the given value of x. Okay, so ito ang formula na gagamitin natin sa pagkuha ng z-score. So, ito po yung z-score for the population data. And this one is the z-score for sample data, where z is a standard normal score, x is a given measurement, this symbol is a population mean of this population data in this formula. And this one is a population standard deviation in a population data. This one is a sample mean here in a sample data. And S is a sample standard deviation of a sample data. So let's have an example. Example number 1. Determine the z-value for each of the following x values for normal distribution with population mean equal to 18 and population standard deviation equal to 5. So meron tayong apat na isosolve. Letter A, x is equal to 14. B, x is equal to 10. C, x is equal to 24. D, x is equal to 28. So, isosolve ko yung A and B and then itry ninyong isolve yung letter C and letter D. Sasabayan nyo ako mamaya doon. So, simulan na natin yung letter A. Okay? So, dahil population na data yan, we are going to use the formula for population data, which is z is equal to x minus the population mean over the population standard deviation. So, what is our z value if x is equal to 14? So, isa-substitute lang natin isa-isa yung mga given doon sa given problems dito sa ating formula. So, sabi, ang x is equal to 14, so papalitan natin si x ng 14. Minus yung population mean natin is 18, therefore, papalitan natin si population mean ng 18. And then, yung ating population standard deviation is 5, therefore, papalitan natin etong population standard deviation ng 5. So, eto po yun. That is equal to 14 minus 18 over 5. I-subtract natin si 14 at saka si 18. So, 14 minus 18, we have negative 4 over 5. And then, we divide negative 4 by 5. So, negative 4 divided by 5 is equal to negative 0.80. So, ito po ang ating z-value when x is equal to 14. Next, letter B. What is our z-value when x is equal to 10? So, again, ito pa rin yung formula natin since ang given natin is population data. So, papalitan ulit yung x ng ating given sa x, which is 10. Papalitan ulit yung ating population mean ng 18 kasi yun ang given sa problem. At papalitan natin etong population standard deviation ng 5 kasi yun din ang given doon sa ating problem. So, it will become 10 minus 18 over 5. And then subtract 10 minus 18, we have negative 8 over 5. And then we divide negative 8 by 5, we get negative 1.60. So this is our z-value, negative 1.60 when x is equal to 10. Okay, so sabayan nyo na ako para sa letter C. So what is our z-value when x is equal to 24? Ano kaya ang ating z-value kung si x ay 24? So again, magsasubstitute lang tayo ng mga values doon sa ating formula. Okay, so this is our formula. Z is equal to x minus the population mean over the population standard deviation. So that is equal to 24 minus 18 over 5. We subtract 24 minus 18. That is equal to 6 over 5. And then divide 6 divided by 5. That is equal to 1.20. This is now our z value for x is equal to 24. Parehas ba tayo ng naging sagot, students? Okay, so dapat ang ating z value is 1.20 when x is equal to 24. Okay, isa pa, letter D. What is our z value when x is equal to 28? Okay, so paulit-ulit lang. Gamitin natin yung formula ng population data. So this is z is equal to x minus the population mean over the population standard deviation. And then palitan ulit, so that will become 28 minus 18 over 5. 28 minus 18 is equal to 10 over 5. 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2. So parehas ba ulit tayo ng naging sagot? Z is equal to 2 when x is equal to 28. Okay, very good. Example number 2. In given normal distribution, the sample mean is 35 and the sample standard deviation is 8. Find the corresponding standard score of 40. So makikita niyo dyan sa given problem, ang given ay sample mean and sample standard deviation. So ang ibig sabihin nito, ang gagamitin natin na formula ay yung para sa sample data. So the givens are x is equal to 40, sample mean of 35, and sample standard deviation of 8. Ito ang formula. Z is equal to x minus the sample mean over the sample standard deviation. So katulad lang ng ginawa natin kanina, pinalitan lang natin ang values dito sa formula ng mga given values doon sa problem. So our x here is 40, our sample mean is 35, and our sample standard deviation is 8. So, eto po yun. 40 minus 35 over 8. 40 minus 35 is equal to 5 over 8. And then we divide 5 divided by 8, we get 0.625. The z-score that corresponds to a score of 40 is 0.625. Ano ang ibig sabihin nito? It tells us that the score of 40 is above average. Example number 3. In given normal distribution, the sample mean is 20.5 and the sample standard deviation is 5.4. Find the corresponding standard score of 18. So, ang given natin ay x is equal to 18, sample mean is equal to 20.5, and sample standard deviation equals 5.4. Our formula is z is equal to x minus the sample mean over the sample standard deviation. Substitute the values. We have 18 minus 20.5 over 5.4. So 18 minus 20.5 is equal to negative 2.5 over 5.4. So we have negative 0.46. The z-score that corresponds to the score of 18 is negative 0.46. Ano ang ibig sabihin nito? It tells us that the score of 18 is below the average. Example number 4. assumes that the retail store has customers whose ages are normally distributed such that population mean is equal to 37 years old and population standard deviation is 7 years old. Calculate the probability that a randomly chosen customer is A. More than 48 years old, B. Younger than 44 years old, C. Between 46 and 54 years old, and D. Between 25 and 37 years old. So, ito ang mga given dyan sa problem na yan. A population mean of 37 and a population standard deviation of 7. Okay, so isolve na natin yung letter A, more than 48 years old. Dahil ang ating given ay population mean at saka population standard deviation, ang gagamitin natin na formula sa pag-solve is formula ng population data. Ito ay ang Z is equal to X minus the population mean over the population standard deviation. I-substitute na natin yung ating mga given value. Dahil ito ay more than 48 years old, ang ating X ay iset muna natin as equal to 48 years old. So, X is equal to 48 minus yung ating population mean is 37 over population standard deviation of 7. So, 48 minus 37 over 7 is equal to 11 over 7. So, i-divide natin yung 11 by 7. That is equal to 1.57. So, ang value ng Z natin ay 1.57. Next is gagawin natin, hahanapin yung area ng Z is equal to 1.57. So, we let A be the area more than Z is equal to 1.57. Bakit more than? Kasi ang ating X is more than 48. So, ang ating given is, or ang hinahanap natin is more than 48. So, ang ating area na kukunin ay more than 1.57. So, ilolocate natin yung area of C is equal to 1.57 in C table. So, marunong naman na kayo mag-locate ng ating area. Naturuan na kayo doon sa previous lesson natin. So, ang ating makukuha na area ng Z is equal to 1.57 is 0.4418. Ngayon, para makuha natin yung area more than 1.57, isa-subtract natin itong nakuha natin na area ni Z kay 0.50. So, 0.50 minus 0.4418 is equal to 0.0582. Ito na ngayon yung ating more than 48 years old. So, ano ang probability na ang mga customers is more than 48 years old? So, ito po, the probability that a randomly chosen customer is more than 48 years old is 5.82%. So, konti lang ang probability na ang makukuha ng mga customer is more than 48 years old. Letter B, younger than 44 years old. So again, ang gagamitin natin na formula ay yung formula para sa population data. So we have Z is equal to X minus the population mean over the population standard deviation. Then mag-substitute na tayo ng mga values ng X, ng mean, at saka ng standard deviation. So our X is 44 minus our mean is 37 And our standard deviation is 7. 44 minus 37 is equal to 7 over 7. 7 divided by 7 is equal to 1. So therefore, our z is equal to 1. Ngayon, hanapin na natin yung area younger than z is equal to 1. Kasi younger than 44 years old ang hinahanap natin. Okay, so ilolocate natin ang area ng z is equal to 1 sa C table natin. So, ang nakuha ko na area is 0.3413. 0.3413. Yan ang area ng z is equal to 1. Okay, next, isubtract natin yung area natin na nakuha na 0.3413 doon sa 0.50 which is kalahati ng ating normal curve. So 0.50 minus 0.3413, our answer is 0.1587. Kukunin na natin ngayon yung probability na ang makukuhang customer is younger than 44 years old. So, i-multiply lang ito by 100. We have the probability of randomly chosen customer is younger than 44 years old is 15.87%. So, 15.87% ang probability na ang makukuha mo na customer is 44 years old. Younger than 44 years old. Letter C. What is the probability that the randomly chosen customer is between 46 and 54 years old? So, dalawang magiging value natin ng x dito. The first one is the 46 and the second one is 54. So, let us first solve for x is equal to 46. Using the formula for population data, we have c is equal to x minus the population mean over the population standard deviation. And then, palitan natin yung values. Magkakaroon tayo ng 46 minus 37 over 7. Subtract natin, 46 minus 37 is equal to 9 over 7. 9 divided by 7 is equal to 1.29. So this is our z value, 1.29. Let us now solve for x is equal to 54. So again, following the formula, substitute the values. So we have 54 minus 37 over 7 is equal to 17 over 7. 17 divided by 7 is equal to 2.43. So ito ang value ng ating z kapag ang x is 54. Ano ang susunod? I-locate na natin yung area ng z is equal to 1.29 at z is equal to 2.43 sa ating z table. So, ang nakuha ko para sa z is equal to 1.29 is 0.4015. And then, the area of z is equal to 2.43 is 0.4925. Ang sabi is probability na ang randomly chosen customer is between 46 and 54 years old. So, ano ang gagawin natin? I-add natin yung dalawang area na nakuha natin. So, 0.4925 plus 0.4015 is equal to 0.8940. And then, kuhanin na natin yung probability niyan. So, that is equal to 89.40%. So, ito ang probability na ang makukuha mo na customer is between 46 and 54 years old. Letter D. What is the probability that a randomly chosen customer is between 25 and 37 years old? So we are going to solve for x is equal to 25 and x is equal to 37. So let us solve for x is equal to 25. Z is equal to x minus the population mean over the population standard deviation. Yan ang ating formula. Next, substitute natin yung values na meron tayo. So we have 25 minus 37 over 7. We have negative 12 over 7 is equal to Z is equal to negative 1.71. Next is solve for x is equal to 37. So again, we are going to use this formula. Z is equal to x minus the population mean over the population standard deviation. So ipapalitan natin yung values ng ating given. So it is 37 minus 37 over 7. So 37 minus 37 is equal to 0 over 7. 0 divided by 7 is 0. So our Z is equal to 0 when x is equal to 37. Next, we are going to locate both the values of z is equal to negative 1.71 and z is equal to 0 in the z table. So, ang nakuha ko na area ng ating z is equal to negative 1.71 is 0.0436. And the area of z is equal to 0 is 0.5,000. And then, i-add natin tong dalawa na to. So, 0.5,000 plus 0.0436 is equal to 0.5436. And then, the probability of choosing customers between 25 to 37 years old is 54.36%. Example number 5. Assume a normal distribution with population mean equal to 100 and population standard deviation equal to 15. What is a probability of randomly selecting an individual with an IQ score less than 130? So, ito yung mga given. Population mean 100. Population standard deviation 15. Tapos, x natin is 130. So, look for probability of selecting an individual with an IQ score less than 130. Okay, so less than 130. So step 1, we are going to convert x to z-score. I-convert muna natin yung x sa z-score. So, using the formula, z is equal to x minus the population mean over the population standard deviation, meron tayong 130 minus 100 over 15. So, 130 minus 100 over 15 is equal to 30 over 15. And 30 divided by 15 is equal to 2. So, the value of z when x is equal to 130 is 2. Step 2. Use unit normal table to convert z-score to corresponding percentage or proportion. So, gamit po itong ating z-table, hahanapin po natin yung area ng z is equal to 2. So, ito po yung z. Hahanapin mo pababa, trace pababa, yung 2.0. So, ito po yung 2.0 natin. Next po, tingnan kung merong number after the decimal yung ating z-score. So, since wala namang kasamang decimal ang ating z-score, therefore, Eto po, dito po sa bandang taas, makikita ninyo, yan yung mga ilalagay sa decimal natin. So, dahil wala siyang decimal, 0.00 ka lang. I-trace mo yan pababa hanggang sa tapat ni 2.0. So, makikita mo, ang kanya pong area is 0.4772. So, z equal to 2 has an area of 0.4772. Hanapin naman po natin yung tail ng ating normal curve. So, ito po, i-minus po natin yung nakuha nating area doon sa kalahati ng ating normal curve, which is 0.50. So, 0.50 minus 0.4772 is equal to 0.0228. Ito po yung ating tail ng normal curve. Yan yung walang shade. Next po, ano yung shaded part? So, imaminus natin yung ating tail na nakuha doon sa 1, yung kabuuan ng normal curve. So, 1 minus 0.0228 is equal to 0.9772. Ito pong 0.9772, ito po yung portion ng normal curve na shaded. Okay, so eto po, nilagay ko sa table para mas makita ninyo yung bawat part ng ating normal curve. So eto yung nahanap natin kanina na area ni z is equal to 2, 0.4772. Eto yung na-compute natin na tail, 0.0228. At eto naman yung portion ng body na shaded, so 0.9772. Eto yung kanyang pinakita natin yung graph ng kanyang normal curve. So, ito yung part ng 0.0228, yung walang shade. Ito naman yung part 0, from 0 up to 2, ito yung 0.4772. Tapos, from here up to doon sa dulo, yan po yung 0.9772. Yun na yung kabuuan ng ating shaded part. Okay, so the probability of randomly selecting an individual with an IQ score less than 130 is 97.72. Ito po ay yung galing sa ating shaded part. Example number 6. Assume a normal distribution with population mean equal to 58 and population standard deviation of 10 for average speed of cars on intersection in Junction Cainta. What proportion of cars travel between 65 and 75 miles per hour? So, we are going to convert x values to z scores. So, that is the step 1. We have two values for x. The x is equal to 65 and x is equal to 75. So let us first compute when x is equal to 65. So using the formula for the population data, z is equal to x minus population mean over population standard deviation. Next is substitute the values to the given formula. So that is equal to 65 minus 58 over 10. Subtract natin, 65 minus 58 is equal to 7 over 10. I-divide ito, so 7 divided by 10 is equal to 0.70. So the values of z is equal to 0.70 when x is equal to 65. How about when x is equal to 75? When x is equal to 75, our z is equal to, again, we are going to substitute to the formula. So we have 75 minus 58 over 10. Subtract natin, we have 75 minus 58 is 17 over 10. 17 divided by 10 is equal to 1.7. So this is our z value when x is equal to 75. Step 2. Use unit normal table to convert z-scores to corresponding proportions. So, gagamitin ulit natin yung ating z-table. Hahanapin natin yung area ng dalawang z-scores na nakuha natin. So, ang unang z-score na nakuha natin is z is equal to 0.70. So, ito yung ating z, ito yung 0.6, ito yung 0.7, 0.70 yon. So, ititrace natin papunta sa tapat ng 0.00 para makuha natin yung area. So, ang area natin is 0.2580. Yan ang ating area when z is equal to 70. Ngayon, hahanapin naman natin yung tail ng ating normal curve to the right when z is equal to 70. So, ima-minus natin doon sa half ng normal curve ang ating nakuhang area. Ang half ng normal curve is 0.50 minus 0.2580, which is yung ating area ng z is equal to 70. We have 0.242. Etong tail sa right ng ating z is equal to 0.70. Ano naman po ang portion ng left? So, ima-minus natin yung nakuha natin doon sa kabuuan ng normal curve. So, therefore, it is 1 minus 0.242, that is equal to 0.758. Ito yung portion on the left when z is equal to 0.70. So, mamaya makikita ninyo ang kanyang graph ng normal curve. Next, hanapin naman natin yung area when z is equal to 1.70. So, ititrace natin. Ito yung z. Ito yung 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. And then, 0 yung katabi ni 7. Therefore, dito lang din ulit tayo sa column ni 0.0. So, this is our area for z is equal to 1.70. That is 0.4554. That is the area of z is equal to 1.70. Next, hanapin naman natin yung tail on the right of z is equal to 1.70. So, ito po yon 0.50 minus 0.4554 na ating area kanina. So, that is equal to 0.0446. Ito ngayon yung tail sa right ng ating z is equal to 1.70. Next, hanapin naman natin yung portion sa left ng z is equal to 1.70. So, i-subtract natin ang ating tail doon sa kabuuan ng ating normal curve. So, that is 1 minus 0.0446 is equal to 0.9554. Ito ngayon yung portion sa left when z is equal to 1.70. So, again, nilagay natin sa table yung ating lahat ng data na nakuha. So, when z is equal to 0.70, ang tail niya is, to the right is 0.242, to the left is 0.758, tapos yung area niya is 0.2580. When z is equal to 1.70, ang tail niya to the right is 0.0446, ang tail niya to the left is 0.9554, at ang kanyang area is 0.4554. So, ito po yung kanyang graph sa normal curve. Ito po yung ito yung tail to the right ni 1.70. Ito naman po yung tail to the left ni 1.70 from this line papunta doon. Next is, ito po yung tail ni 0.70 papunta sa right. Ito naman po yung tail ni 0.70 papunta sa left. Ito naman po yung kanilang portion na pinagsama, between. Okay? Ito yung shaded part. Itong nakalagay dito na area. So, ito yung between z is equal to 0.70 and z is equal to 1.70. So, this is the probability when 65 is less than x, less than 75. So, ito pong dalawa, i-minus natin para makuha yung kanyang shaded part. So, that is 0.4554 minus 0.2580. So, we have 0.1974. Therefore, the probability of cars travel between 65 and 75 miles per hour is 19.74%. Ito po yun, yung part na yan. Pag-aralan naman natin ngayon kung paano mag-convert ng z-score to row score. So, ito po ang formula natin sa pag-convert ng z-score to row score. For population data, x is equal to population mean plus the product of z-score and population standard deviation. For sample data, x is equal to sample mean plus the product of z-score and sample standard deviation, where z is a standard normal score, x is a row score, this symbol is a population mean, this symbol is a population standard deviation, this symbol is a sample mean, and S is a sample standard deviation. Let's have an example. Example number 7. Person A from a population Y has a z-score of negative 0.75, a population mean of 10, a population standard deviation of 2. Find the value of x. So, we are going to use the formula for population data. X is equal to population mean plus the product of z-score and population standard deviation. Next, we are going to substitute the given values in the problem to our formula. So, x is equal to our mean is 10 plus the product of our z-score is negative 0.75 and our standard deviation is 2. X is equal to 10 plus we get the product of this, so we have negative 1.50. Next, we simplify 10 minus 1.50, that is equal to x is equal to 8.5. So this is the value of our x. Example number 8. If we have a z-score of 1.5, a mean of 80, and a standard deviation of 10, compute for x. So, gagamitin natin na formula is x is equal to population mean plus the product of z-score and population standard deviation. Substituting the values to the given formula, we have population mean is equal to 80 plus the product of z-score, which is 1.5, and population standard deviation, which is 10. We multiply 1.5 times 10, we have x is equal to 80 plus 15. We add, then we get x is equal to 95. Therefore, the value of x is 95. Example number 9. Alexa, a grade 11 student, received her grade in Z-score of 0 rather than in actual test score. The statistics for the test has a sample mean of 72 and a sample standard deviation of 9.6. Find out Alexa's actual test score. So we are going to use the formula for sample data. X is equal to sample mean plus the product of Z-score and sample standard deviation. So substituting the given in the problem, we have x is equal to our sample mean is 72 plus our Z-score is 0 times our standard deviation of 9.6. We multiply 0 and 9.6. So we have x is equal to 72 plus 0. 72 plus 0 is equal to 72. Therefore, Alexa's actual test score is 72. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, feel free to send a message to our official page, Math Team, Mathematics Teachers of Mandaluyong, or send a message to your math teachers. This is Maricel F. Vito saying, Math-sayang Math-aral, tayo ng Math-tuto!